field. Wonderful. In a moment you'll go through that door and you'll be in your own body, looking out of your own eyes, feeling what you feel, hearing what you hear. Just allow yourself to walk in there and the door closes behind you. Can you describe any more about this field where you are right now?
There's a road by it.
There's a road by it, okay.
Dogs barking.
And there's dogs barking. I'd like you now to just look down just so you can see your legs and feet and describe to me how you're dressed.
Long dress.
You've got a long dress. Wonderful. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me what they call you in this past life. 1, 2, 3. What do they call you in this past life? Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me what year it is. 1, 2, 3. What year is it, Elizabeth?
It's 16. 1643.
1643. Lovely. And how old are you, Elizabeth?
23.
23. Lovely. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, we'll take you through to that evening in this past life. 1, 2, 3. It's later on that evening. Tell me what's happening now.
Crowded room.
A crowded room. How does this room look?
People are happy.
Okay.
Laughing.
Happy people laughing. Is it a big room, a small room where you are right now?
Big.
Big room. Okay. And do you live in this house or do you work there?
No, we're visiting.
You're visiting. Wonderful. And who are you visiting right now?
We're travelling through.
You're just travelling through. Okay. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me where in the world you are. 1, 2, 3. Where in the world are you? England. Okay. Whereabouts in England are you right now?
Newland.
Newland. Okay. Lovely. When I next count to 3 and click my finger, let's go back a bit further to your childhood. I'm going to take you to the age of 10 on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You're 10 years old. I'm interested to know what you're doing on this day whilst you're 10 years old.
Kitchen.
You're in the kitchen. And what are you doing in the kitchen, Elizabeth?
Running around.
Running around. Okay. Is there anybody with you right now?
Brother and mother.
Brother and your mother. Wonderful. When I next count to 3 and click the fingers, you'll be able to give me your surname. 1, 2, 3. What's your surname? Bennett. Lovely. So Elizabeth Bennett. We're now going to go forward in time to the age of 12. 1, 2, 3. You're 12 years old now, and I'd be interested to know about your 12th year. So what's happening now?
Gone for a walk.
We've gone for a walk.
Best hat on.
Okay. And how does this hat look? Can you describe to me how it looks right now?
Flowers.
Flowers. Wonderful. And are you going to be doing anything after you've gone for this nice walk that you know of later on?
church.
You're going to church. Okay. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, it'll be later on in the day and you'll be able to tell me whether you're in church or not. 1, 2, 3. Later on that day. And are you at the church now?
Yes.
Okay. How does this church look?
Grey.
Grey. Okay. Are you actually inside at this moment in time?
No.
No. Okay, so you're outside. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, you'll be able to give me the name of this church. 1, 2, 3. What's the name of the church?
St. Catherine's.
St. Catherine's. Lovely. So let's move further forward in time now. Let's move to the age of 15. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. You're 15 years old. And can you tell me about your 15th year, please? What are you doing? Boys like you. Wonderful. And is there any particular boy that you like at this moment in time?
Yes, there's one.
There's one. Okay. What's this boy's name? Richard. Wonderful. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, we'll go to a point in this year of yours where you're able to look at yourself in reflection, or it could be in a mirror or in some water, but you'll see a reflection of yourself. 1, 2, 3. You'll see a reflection of yourself. And describe to me how you look.
Blonde hair.
Long blonde hair. Lovely.
Full lips.
Got full lips.
Smiling.
Wonderful. And what else have you got on? How are you dressed right this moment in time?
Dress.
A white dress. Lovely. Wonderful. When I next count to 3 and click my fingers, we'll move to a year of 18. 1, 2, 3. You're 18 years old now. And what are you doing today? Horses. Are they your horses or somebody else's, or what's your connection with the horses right now?
Daddy's in the army.
Daddy's in the army. Okay. And has he been in the army long?
I do this evening. I do apologise.
Is he in the army long?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We'll now move forward in time, some more time, and you'll be at the age of 19. 1, 2, 3. You're 19 years old. And can you tell me what you're doing at the year of 19?
I'm a maid.
You're a maid. Okay. And what else? What can you see around you right now?
Chairs. Library. Books.
And what have you been doing today?
Reading to my master.
Reading to your master. Okay. What's your master's name? Philip. Okay. And on the count of 3 on next, click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me what Philip's surname is. 1, 2, 3. What's Philip's surname?
Strong.
Strong. Wonderful. Now let's move further forward in time. So you're at the age of 24. 1, 2, 3. You're 24 years old. If you can tell what you're doing in this year now. Are you getting anything like that at 24 years old?
By myself.
You're by yourself. Okay. Are you still working for your master?
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay. So are you doing anything for work at the moment?
Look after children.
You look after children. Okay. And are you still around the same area, or have you moved somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
You're somewhere else. Where are you now?
Big house.
It's a big house. Okay. Are you still in the same part of England, or have you moved now to a different part of England? Moved. Okay. On the count of three, when I click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me which part of England you've moved to. 1, 2, 3. Which part of England have you moved to?
Somerset.
Somerset. Okay. And on the next count of three, when I click my fingers, you'll be able to tell me the name of your village in Somerset, or wherever you live in Somerset. 1, 2, 3. Where in Somerset do you live? You don't know. That's fine. It might come out later. On the next count of three, when I click my finger, we'll move further forward in time, and you'll be at the age of 32. 1, 2, 3. You're at the age of 32. And if you can let me know what you're doing today.
Walking outside.
You're walking outside. Okay. And is there anybody with you, or are you by yourself right now?
Myself.
By yourself. Okay. Do you still look after children?
Yes.
Okay. And do you like looking after the children?
Yes.
Wonderful. We now move to a time in this past life which was a very happy day for you. 1, 2, 3. A very happy day for you in this past life. And if you can tell me what you're doing on this very happy day.
Children getting married.
All the children getting married. That's absolutely lovely. And where are you actually preparing for the wedding right now, or are you?
Wedding.
You're at the wedding. What can you see around you?
People.
Happy people. Lovely. Let's move further forward in time again to you're at the age of 50, Elizabeth. 1, 2, 3. You're at the age of 50. And if you can let me know what you're doing now at the age of 50.
My cottage.
You're at your cottage. Okay, is anybody else with you at this cottage?
No.
No. Okay, so do you still live by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, next count to three and click my fingers, you'll be at the age of 55. 1, 2, 3. You're at the age of 55. And I'll be interested to know what you're doing now.
I'm lying on the bed.
You're lying on the bed. Okay. And is anybody with you right now when you're
I'm being looked after.
being looked after? Okay. What does the room look like where you are right now?
Small.
Small.
Fireplace.
Okay. And are you still living in Somerset right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, next count to three and click my fingers. You'll be at the age of 56. 1, 2, 3. You're 56. And if you can tell me about what you're doing now as you're 56.
In a chair.
You're sat in a chair. Okay. Anybody with you right now?
No.
No. Okay. Are you still living in the same house?
Yes.
Okay. We'll now move further forward in time to your very last year in this life. 1, 2, 3. Your very last year. And how old are you?
62.
62. Okay. And what are you doing there?
I'm lying in bed.
You're lying in bed. Okay. Anybody with you?
Being looked after.
You're being looked after. Did you marry at all in this life?
No.
No. Okay. My next count to three and click my fingers will be your very last hour in this past life. 1, 2, 3. It's your very last hour. And if you can tell me if you're doing anything now in your very last hour.
I can hear the angels.
You can hear the angels. Lovely. How does that feel? Beautiful. Wonderful. Next time I count to 3 and click my fingers, it'll be your very last 10 seconds in this life. 1, 2, 3. And if you can tell me what's happening these last 10 seconds now.
Being lifted.
You're being lifted. And how does that feel, being lifted?
Light.
Light. So now move to your last 5 seconds. Anything else happening?
Darkness.
Darkness. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Are you experiencing anything now? Floating. And tell me, how does that floating feel?
Young.
You feel young. Lovely. Now just allow yourself to move further forward in time, if there is such a thing as time now, and just tell me if you're experiencing anything else.
Band playing.
Band playing. So is that a nice sound?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. In a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and click my fingers, and you'll go back to that corridor where you very first started from on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Is there anything, any experiences that you wish to take forward from this previous life that you've had to today?
Kindness.
Kindness. That's wonderful. I'll take that kindness through with you to today. In a moment I'm going to count to 3 and click my fingers, and on 3 and only 3 you'll open your eyes, you'll feel great, feel wonderful and refreshed. 1, becoming aware of sitting down in a chair. 2, your hands resting comfortably, and 3, open your eyes, feeling great, feeling refreshed, feeling wonderful. And some people sometimes feel like a glass of water afterwards. How do you feel in that?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's give everybody a nice round of applause. So does anybody have any questions from what they just experienced now with the demonstration that I just gave of past life? Believing, sceptical, I really don't mind at all.
How do you know it's just not, you're not just, your mind's not just making it up?
It's very difficult to know, and there's actually something called cryptomnesia, which is actually that you've read books and that you've taken on the information that you've read in those books. And that's why you sometimes get people that come out with a tune which is very, very similar to another tune, and not necessarily doing plagiarism. Stories it happens to as well, but they've taken that information on. The subconscious mind has remembered it, because the subconscious mind can remember pretty much everything, but the conscious mind forgets lots of things. So the subconscious mind has told the conscious mind something that it's heard before. It's up to yourself what you believe, really, at the end of it. I think the best thing to actually do, there has been studies done by various people, hypnotherapists, and the information that they've looked up, and they found out that there is correlation with what they've actually said. It is always a catch-22 situation where somebody who's sceptical will actually say afterwards that, well, they've read it in the book, they've heard it somewhere and forgotten it, and that's why it's coming back out. Or, you know, that if it doesn't actually, you can't find information, it's, well, it never happened, you can't find information anyway. So you're always in, as I said, that catch-22. There has been a couple of times where people have been regressed. One that I saw a documentary of quite recently, and it was quite compelling, where a lady was saying she didn't like the way that these stone flags were taken from Gloucester Abbey to used in this farmhouse. And the farmer that actually took on this house, they went there afterwards, hadn't cleared the floor away for ages, and they dug up the floor and actually found that they had this stone tiling which was from Gloucester Abbey and had very similar markings to the way she was describing it. Is it a coincidence? It could be, or it might be actually a genuine past life. Anybody else got any questions at all?
I'd like to know if you remember what you
said. Yes, most of it, yeah.
You do.
Well, most of it. I remember things, yes.
And I don't know you at all, but I got this feeling when you were sat there, talking about being young, and I imagine this, you looked, the mannerisms looked young. She
I thought
spoke
it
as if she was
changed,
young.
face changed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
the face changed.
Yeah,
Did anybody else?
yeah, that does happen, isn't it? It's like with trance mediumship, the
Yeah.
face does change, yeah.
Also as well, you're taking on the personality. I've done
Yeah.
it before with various people, and it's been very much, they just telling me what they're coming up with, and other people, they've actually, their voice has changed, they've actually become a different person, they start speaking with a different accent, so that's really interesting when that happens. I mean, for yourself, how did it feel? Did it feel real to you, or how
Felt
did
very
you?
real.
Very
And
real.
I've never been to those places before.
No.
It's Chard. Where's Chard?
Sunset.
That is Somerset.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But you looked different.
Mm.
That, yeah, that
So what?
was in
How
trance.
you look now, yeah, you looked.
It's like she became that person,
Really?
definitely.
because she went back to that era, that place, that where Paul was taking
It's like
her.
we were that
And
person.
she were that person,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't have expected
I
that.
thought you
No.
said about the angels.
That was
Yeah.
odd.
And a band at the end, it always,
I thought it
always worries me, because we've done,
nice.
Yeah.
you've done stuff before where people have actually, the minute they've died, and some people have died in a fire, and witches and
I
stuff like
always-
that, isn't it? It's a bit,
when that does happen, I'm always very careful. I'm always watching
Yeah.
somebody. I always make
Yeah.
sure that they're not looking too upset. If they're too upset,
Yeah.
I'll take them away from that, or
yeah,
tell them that they'll experience it, but they won't have any of the emotions attached with
they
it.
don't
So-
bring it back with them when you bring
No.
them round, I know,
No,
yeah.
because I have
With-
seen some hypnotists
Yeah.
before, and it looks good on video, but I wouldn't want to put something like that where they're
No.
loving and they're kind
No.
I want someone to actually have a good positive experience
Exactly.
when they come and
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
next to me here.
Mm,
I felt very content.
That's good.
mm,
Wonderful.
In the past, I was very content.
mm.
Does anybody else have any other questions here at all?
Yeah, I found that when your responses, when Paul was asking you questions and saying, when I click my fingers, you will know the answer to this, you instantly knew the answer. You
It
didn't
just-
hesitate.
No, it was just
Well,
there.
in general conversation, you were thinking longer about it.
Yeah,
So, what you know, it was like he was controlling you in a way. You know, but it was working. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that was it was working.
yeah, because if
It was
somebody's
a good
fibbing
thing.
or whatever, or make things
Yeah,
up, they
it was a
tend to
good-
think more, don't they?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a
If
good
it's
thing.
spontaneous,
It was
it's
like
more,
seemed like a really genuine
I think-
reaction.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, when you're maybe you regress though, I mean, as you stand now, you wouldn't have to think to yourself, I wouldn't have to say to myself, my name's Anna. If somebody's asking you a question in that you're like in that state,
Mm.
it's like knowledge that's already there, but you almost like have to concentrate to find it
Mm,
because it's so much part of that
Yeah.
person that you were that
mm. Yeah, and is it linked as well, Paul, with the deja vu feelings that where people have said, I've been here before, but I know I haven't, and yet I know there's a pub around the corner, and then there is. Is that the sort
Quite
of thing
often
that
it
people
is.
think?
Quite often it can be tied to past lives, but then there's also the sceptical eye, because I like to give both sides to when
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
any of these talks. So one thing is you've been there before and you experienced it, and that's where you've got that feeling. The other thing is that some say it's a mini blackout. So when you go to somewhere, you have like this miniature blackout,
Mm.
and then you come back around after this miniature blackout, and because you've had this blackout, you think, I've been here before, because you have, and you just have that miniature sort of
Yeah,
blackout.
yeah. But overall, the mind's a powerful thing.
It
isn't
is, absolutely.
Yeah, I know, been there, done that. Caesar's nightclub springs to mind, Paul. As we know.